Welcome to the City of Selma 3rd Annual Golden Bridge Builders Award Program. It is with great pleasure and joy to have you as our 2014 awardee. Thank you for all you have done and will continue to do for us and this community and surrounding areas. We honor you, we thank you. You are our unsung heroes and you are all deserving of these awards. The awards are Communication Media, Randy William, Community Services, Alice M. West, Education, Melvyn Flanagan Brown, Government, Judge Robert Armstrong III, Medical Services, Dr. Joseph Carstarphan, and Religion, Dr. James Edward Byrom. You all have the same question. My question to you is, what aspect of your work or contribution do you find to be or has been the most remarkable or extraordinary?
That's a difficult question when I think about what I would consider to be remarkable or extraordinary. I feel very fortunate in that I'm in a very competitive business. Radio and public relations, entertainment is a very competitive business. I was blessed with getting a good foundation. My mentor, Ace Anderson, and others have taught me so many different things. I have done everything in radio from sweeping the floor to ownership. I've worked every format, from country and western to rhythm and blues to gospel to classical, you name it. I've done all the formats and have worked in small and medium and large markets. And everywhere I've been competitive. I've never been under number 3. I've never worked at a station that was not either number 1, number 2, or number 3, with one exception. And that exception, we became number 1 shortly after I got there. So I feel very fortunate in being able to have worked at some good quality radio stations and have published some good newspapers. But more importantly, I'm thankful to God for allowing me to still be enthusiastic about wanting to help empower people. So if there's anything that I'm proud of, in every city and every market that I've worked in, I've made a difference and have helped the community and have reached out to try and help people, to help empower people so that they can have a better community. I feel like if I've gone into a city or if I've gone into a market, if it's not better after I leave, then I haven't done my job. And I don't believe there's anywhere I've been, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 places that I can't go back to. And those 1 or 2 places I can't go back to are places that didn't welcome the change that came about as a result of empowering citizens.
Was being able to help the people that was coming in to try to help in the struggle in 1965. I helped preparing the meals and, which we then was called soul food, and giving them a place to relax and rest and maybe sit down and have a healthy discussion about what was going on. So I just enjoyed working with everyone, and all the people that came in, it was very polite, and I just felt good just being able to be there and help somebody. I was always taught by my great-grandmama, always try to help somebody and be good to other people, because you never know what you'll have to come to. So it was just a good thing for me, the grace of God, that I was just able to help my husband and I. I was living right back of the church, and there was no problem. They could come in, use the bathroom, get water, and have their discussions and go on. These were the SNCC workers and SCLC workers. And Jonathan Daniels was one of the outside people that came down to help in the struggle, that lived in my home for 2 months or more. And then he went back to visit his family, came back, went to Lowndes County, helped along with Stokely Carmichael and others, people, get other people registered to vote. And he was killed, and when he called and told me about it, it was the saddest day of my life. I'm so happy to be here tonight to speak on some of the things my husband and I, helped in the struggle here. And at the time I was living in a GWC home in the Real Brown Chapel Church where P.H. Lewis was then the pastor. And I was one of the nervous Nellas of the GWC home. And I was happy to do what I could because I always was taught by my grandmother and great-grandmama who raised me. They'd always try to help somebody, and that I did. And my husband and I, and along with my 10 children, my 3 teenage daughters did, and the younger children. It's a great feeling to be here and to see all the concerned citizens. And we've come a long way in this struggle, but we still are climbing Jacob's ladder. We got a long ways to go.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure just to be an educator in the Dallas County school system. I count it a blessing that I'm able to touch some children's lives. I've presently been working over 35 years in Dallas County at several schools. I'm empowered to educate our children to a better life. Not only does it take a village to raise a child, but we also need to empower him at a young age so that he or she would already know when they reach this age what they would like to be in life. It's important that we continue to strive to produce better educated children. It's not a hard job, it's a wonderful job. I've enjoyed every year of it. It's a thrill just to get up and go to work in the morning. It's a thrill to see children learn. And my biggest aspect is that they learn. And when they learn, you as an educator just light up like a globe because you have accomplished something that day that you can carry on. It's important that we train our children, that in training our children that we need to make sure that they are prepared for this global world. It takes all the teachers, and with me, I had some very good teachers working with me, very good superintendents. They have made it an easier job for me as an educator. And as a volunteer in the community, it helps also. Because if you can't volunteer and give back, then you don't have any reason for being there. You don't have to be paid for everything you do. Volunteering means more to any person to just be able to give freely back to what's been given unto them.
I'm the district judge of Dallas County, and one of the most important functions of my job is to be the juvenile court judge. And it's to me, that's the most significant thing about my job, is to try to help our children succeed in our community. When I got on the bench in 2005, Dallas County was dead last in violent juvenile crime in our community, and we were desperate to change the culture of juvenile justice in Dallas County, and we've done that. And I'm so pleased for our community that we have. We have gone all the way from 67th for violent juvenile crime all the way up to number 12 in the state, and juvenile crime is down 71% since that time, which is a really great statistic for our community that gives everybody hope. We are seeing children succeed where they were heading into prison and into criminal life. We're seeing children succeed, and we've been able to do this with lots of people helping, lots of quality people, but we've created a system of services in our community. We're very fair but firm when it comes to consequences, but we have a system of services. We call it the Compass Network, where we provide counseling for our children. We intervene with parental involvement. We do substance abuse counseling, behavior modification training, job training. We have all kinds of programs now set up to help get our children turned around so they can succeed. And that's been the most rewarding part of my job. I love our community. I'm from Selma and want to see all of our children succeed. And so it's been the most rewarding and satisfying part of my job. And I'm really pleased to be in this position.
My greatest satisfaction of being an integral part of our community's healthcare service is when on any given day I can see a family of families that third, fourth, and fifth generation come into the pharmacy and give me the opportunity to fill their prescription. And for this, I am truly humbled. On the same token, I can see a sick child, and when I say sick, I mean sick. They are lifeless, no energy, hanging on to their mom's or dad's arm, sitting in their lap, no energy, nothing, just sick. And then we can fast forward that, 5 or 6 days later, they are back, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to conquer the universe. And that is a feeling that I wish that I could just get over to you. I just don't have the words to express it. The love and the wildness of a child is close to my heart. It's one of those things that is no words to express. Children are so resilient and energetic that they are just not made to be sick. I've been blessed for the past 47 and now 2015, 48 years of being your pharmacist. And with your help and my not getting too old, hopefully I can continue to do so. I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to the community for their support. And I wish each and every one of you a very prosperous and healthy New Year. Thank you.
I've not always been an ordained preacher. I was saved in 1956, but I started preaching as a lay preacher in 1957. I worked 32 years for the Social Security Administration, and then when I got retired from it, I felt the Lord calling me into the ministry, so I went back to the seminary rather. And I've been pastor at Marion Junction Baptist Church for 28 years. That's unusual for a Baptist preacher. Generally, they only stay 2 or 3 years. I don't look at myself simply as a Baptist preacher because I have influence with the other churches that are in the area as well. I think one of the most significant things in my life, though, has been the ability not only to witness to people, but to be able to work with people outside the church, specifically in disaster relief and in building. I'll never forget, years ago, actually it hadn't been that long, it was back in the 90s, I was in Israel working at Petah Tikva at the Baptist village, repairing the roofs of the village that had been destroyed by Scud missiles coming in from Iraq, right after the first Iraq war. We were working 12, 14 hours a day, and one evening we were sitting around a table. It was myself, and there was a Jewish man who was the bookkeeper of the village, and a converted Muslim from Hebron. And at that particular time, Intifada was going on in Israel. In other words, this was the rebellion of the Palestinians who were there. And Musa, who was the converted Muslim, looked at us and he said, "Why can't we get along like we do here sitting at the table?" And Isaac, who was the Jewish bookkeeper, he said, "Brother Musa," he said, "the problem is," he says, "we're Christians and the other people around us are not." I think we talk about bridge building, I believe that's where it's at. I believe it's through Jesus, the only way that we're going to be able to have any harmony or peace, only through Him. Praise unto Him.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen.